My feature is entitled Porn versus Reality.
This is UK Full Stop, playing the greatest of the latest all over Westside Radio. And right about now, I am joined by someone from London 360 who has a really, really great topic this evening. It's Sofia, and I'm not going to try and pronounce the surname again because I haven't mastered it yet. Can you do it for me?
Hi, Crash. Hey guys, I'm Sofia Couceiro. Sorry, Crash, you cannot pronounce that. We've tried a couple of times.
We have tried. I need training, for real.
You need to learn some Portuguese.
Yeah,
indeed.
Sure. My sister's Portuguese, half Portuguese as well.
Oh, wow.
My little sister, she's like 2, so I'm still,
You're still, obviously mastering it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a real pleasure, for real. No pun intended.
I think we're going to have some fun tonight. No pun intended again.
Okay. We're just going to keep flying these innuendos all over the place today.
Happen.
I think that's what's going to happen, for real.
I think at first I saw the topic and I was like, wow, this is going to be challenging. And then once I started doing the research and contacting people, it was challenging. But I think it was a question of really trying to find an angle that I could connect the feature to young people. And, as a journalist, you have to be persuasive. So you have to get people, on your side. And I think it ended up being a great feature. I hope everyone enjoys it.
Yeah.
It will take a different angle. I try to make it more relevant for the youth of today.
Right.
And also I tried not to make it as a lecture because I think these topics sometimes are very much like, yes, porn is not the same as reality. Yeah, we got that.
Yeah.
But, what else can we talk about? So I really try to do that, and I hope people enjoy.
It's interesting that you say that porn isn't like reality. I feel like, personally, it's kind of becoming more like reality, but we'll talk about that after.
Well, there are different types of porn, and
It's true, definitely. And and we kind of, I don't know, copy and paste or delete whatever we kind of want. And it's quite interesting to see, like, how it can kind of correlate with music as well, because I know that you've covered a lot of that. So
yeah, definitely. I think the feature will speak for itself.
Yeah.
And I hope people really enjoy it. I really try to bring a different angle to it.
Cool.
Let's see.
All right, cool. Well, if you'd like to introduce your radio documentary.
So, hi people listening to Westside. My feature is entitled Porn versus Reality. I try to obviously talk about porn and how it differs from reality.
Yeah.
But I also try to connect it to music videos and how, they also play a bit into this subject. So, I'm just going to let the feature speak for itself and then come back for a lively discussion with Crash.
Cool. Remember, you can get us at UK Full Stop.
Porn. Printed or visual material containing the explicit description or display of sexual organs or activity, intended to stimulate sexual excitement. We all know what it is, but does it give you a full sense of reality? I found that actually girls were more receptive to talk about porn.
Really?
But they would say it in a way kind of like, my partner watches it, not me. So that's how I'm affected.
Yeah.
And actually, like, there have been surveys done, like Anne Summers did a survey, and 96% of women have watched porn, mainly alone. So they won't admit to it. Yeah.
Okay.
This was obviously done with 300 women, so we don't know the extent, but there's definitely a stigma attached, with watching porn, or at least talking about it. And what I found about boys is that they won't say, especially on camera, we have to see, this is going to be broadcasted, even if you keep it anonymous. They won't say, yes, I watch porn and this is how it affects me. They're kind of like, bruv, whatever. And what I found, this is how I wanted to correlate it to music videos, is that, I would say, okay, have you watched porn? And people are like, oh no, of course not. Have you watched Skeptas all over the house? Of course I have. Oh my god, I have watched a music video. Because people will watch it because they're like, I'm watching it for the music. And it's okay to say that you watch that, but it's not okay for you to say that you watch porn if you watch the video, you know what I mean? Right.
It's like if there's shock value in an artistic form, then people are kind of a bit more like, have you seen it yet? Even if it's like terrible, like, or awkward or whatever, it's in a song, so therefore it's kind of all right. I completely agree with you. But at the same time, like, I think, when it comes to porn in music or whatever, I think that it definitely has a part to play, but I really feel that it's more along the lines of, okay, there's this artist at the forefront, and if you really, really don't like the music, then you're not gonna engage with it. Whereas with porn, it's like there's something else there that's like visual, and you know, with these artists, you can't actually, well, apart from All Over the House, I haven't really seen anything where there's actual penetration, you know, like actual, like it's sexy, and you know, then you may see like breasts or something like that, but the acts aren't necessarily. I mean, Jade, what do you think about this? Because I mean, obviously you're an artist yourself, so what do you feel about the content? Like,
what, like example of Skepta's video?
Well, yeah, examples like that, and just like in general, do you feel like it is just like soft porn, like in general, not necessarily Skepta's thing that was on a porn web, that was legitimately on a porn website, but I mean, like, you know,
I don't know, it's difficult. Like, some of it obviously, like when girls are just dancing in the video, and it's that's been going on for ages, so
yeah.
I don't really look at it as it's soft porn. But some things you look at and think, yeah, that's a little bit more than just a few girls dancing in the video, but again, it's the industry and sex sells, so as the artist, the industry put pressure on you to do things like that, because that's what makes money. So it's not just the artist fault, it's the people behind it as well that are pushing it. So
I think coming back, you know, to what, you know, girls dancing, I never suggested, you know, and I don't think, you know, all music videos are soft porn. But obviously there will be, you know, the very heavy sexual content of some videos. I do think it will affect the younger audiences, and I feel we don't talk about it because it's not as obvious as porn. So we're kind of like, oh, it's okay, it won't affect. But when you have, you know, I don't know, for example, songs like Ayo by Chris Brown, like that, you know, I have it on my phone. I listen to it every day, and I like the beat, whatever, but it will affect me at some point. And if you're 14, 15,
I suppose,
it might, you know, but obviously, you know, like we heard from Charmaine from Face4Music, you know, these are, you know, paid models to dance. They're not doing more, you know, than an actress would do in the steamy scene. So that's also another point, is that there's this stigma attached about music models that, you know, they're doing something dirty, whilst if you have, I don't know, Angelina Jolie in the Rolling Stones music video, that's fashion and that's cool. So, you know, that's also maybe another feature.
Ultimately, I think, like, in terms of, well, from a guy's perspective, like, I'd say that, like, I learned a lot from porn, innit? And a lot of it was kind of distorted, like, but a lot of it, you kind of eventually, you know, you try it out. You just try it, and then, like, it works or it doesn't. Like, say, for example, you know, I'd watch porn way before, like, I lost my virginity. And so my expectation of having sex for the first time was completely different. Like, I thought, like, and obviously you have friends who you think have kind of done whatever they've done, and they're gassing you up. They're like, yeah, man went for hours and this and that and everything else. Like, I was like 15, right? And I thought, yeah, man's gonna go for hours. Like, it was all thought out. Like, I knew I was gonna get something, right? Man was like a minute. I was like, I was gutted. Like, I was so gutted. And do you know why I was gutted? I was gutted because all I ever heard was the porn stuff, like, from my boys, and you don't know who's lying or who's telling the truth. But then obviously eventually, you know, once you progress, or whatever you like to call it, you don't last for like a minute or whatever. You're lasting for a longer time, but it's just distorted. You see what I'm saying? So I think porn kind of, like, there's a fine line between porn and, like, say, watching something in class, like, to explain the whole birds and the bees thing, because certain time what they're showing you is quite similar. Like, I've seen, like, sex education videos where they are literally showing you positions. Like, they're literally showing you positions, and, like, it's, I don't know, there's no storyline behind it like porn. So I guess, where's the line? Where do you think the line is?
Well, first of all, you know, talking about, you know, how you're talking about, you know, sex education and all that. I think, you know, the first interview you heard in the feature, Justin Hancock, he does run an online website, and I think he put it out, like, what he said about people not seeing real bodies. I think that's one of the bigger issues, is that the porn that's okay, even if you say
porn,
okay,
there's porn for that though. There's porn.
Yeah, but is it really the porn that usually people are going to see? You know, if you can see a very hot, you know, what you would most people would classify as a hot body.
Yeah.
You would prefer that. You wouldn't, you know, how.
Not necessarily.
Okay, well, there are tastes for everything. I'll take that.
I think no. Do you know what it is? Here's what it is with porn, right? It's a situation where you watch one thing, and it's like drugs, innit? So you the likeliness of you watching that same porn again is not high. Like, you're gonna watch something else, and it's not necessarily in terms of gauging. It's just like, oh, okay, this is new to my brain, so therefore, you know, I'm just gonna do whatever it is that I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? But I think more along the lines of, okay, so here's what I think porn distorts what real sex is, and it's not always, you know, crazy like that. It can be passionate, it can be this, it can be that. And then music videos, just kind of, they kind of get you in a different kind of mode where it's like a bit more tongue-in-cheek rather than, okay, boom, this is what you must be doing. It's not instructing you. And I think that there are intelligent people who can differentiate between the two. But then young people, not saying that they're not intelligent, but people aren't necessarily putting it into context for them. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But anyways, boy, we don't really have much more time, but we did have some we did have some people kind of saying their piece.
It's just Twitter time, isn't it?
Shout out to TJG. He says, porn has become accessible to everyone. I think it's almost impossible to go through life without experiencing it now. And whether it's consciously or subconsciously, it puts ideas in your head. I think we all at least learn one or two things from it that we can take into account, etc., when we are doing it. Yeah. So kind of similar to what I'm saying and what you're saying as well. In a way, like, it's hard to get away from it. Music videos and stuff kind of appropriate.
Yeah, and I do think, you know, even in terms of porn, okay, it might teach you some things, but I guess you could get that knowledge from somewhere else. I think it's just not available. Right. You know, for like, people don't talk about these issues openly. So that's why, you know, and also it's out of curiosity because it's forbidden. Yeah. People will want to see it, you know. Yeah. True.
Okay, and last but not least, once again, I think that back in the day, porn and reality were separate, but now it's so normal to think people have evolved in their sexual activities and open-mindedness to things that now coincide with each other. As now people mimic and get ideas from what they watch, and it makes it a lot more acceptable because they have seen it on screen and makes people want to try it themselves or think that that's what they should be doing. That's just my thoughts anyway.
Well, I guess like that's, you know, like anything. You see it online, you might want to try it. Well, great, but you know, I think people should just be critical of what they watch, and you know, you also have to think that, you know, porn actresses and actors, you know, they're shot in a way that makes them look really good. There's nothing you know, passionate or sexual about it. It's just their job. Yeah. So what you see is very staged, and you know, I try to show that through music videos. You know, it's all a stage managed process. Yeah, it is. You know, we have to be critical when we watch these things. Definitely. You know, great. You know, if it makes people's sex lives better, glad. But I think people should just be, you know, critical when they watch it. Yeah. I think it definitely has the power to kind of rot someone's brain for sure. But it's been a real pleasure discussing that with you. And like, where can we find you next? You can find me on London 360. You can actually watch us tomorrow, 6 p.m. community channel Sky 539. You can follow us on Twitter at London_360. And you can follow me at Sofia _Couceiro. I'll spell that out. I'll say at SOFIA _COUCEIRO. And also send us your stories. We're all, you know, West London. We would love to hear from you. So make sure.
This is UK Full Stop, playing the greatest to the latest in UK urban culture. Thursdays, 10 p.m. to midnight on West Side Radio.